Hello and welcome to NDTV. I'm Rohit Khilnani. This is a very special show because we have a very special guest, Lilly Singh on NDTV. Thank you so much for agreeing to doing this.
What do you mean? First of all, let me apologize for my voice. I performed yesterday, so I'm going to sound like I'm hitting puberty, but thank you for having me here.
Your fans like to hear you any which way, so this is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Tell me, are you having a good time? How has it been so far?
It's been great. I mean, every time I come to India, specifically Mumbai, I have a great time.
Yeah.
And it feels like home.
And how often do you come?
I've ended up coming about a minimum of once a year.
I'd
love if it was more than that.
Right.
It's great because when I was growing up, my parents would take me to Punjab, which I love, but I never actually got a chance to come to places like Mumbai and Delhi until I started my career. So it's always really exciting.
Right, and we saw some really cool pictures of in Mumbai. How's the experience been? Went out somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to be really cool, so I've planned my outfits accordingly, and then I try to find cool places, and then I try to communicate to a rickshaw driver can I please take a picture in a rickshaw? So it's been really fun.
Yeah, and how was the fest? How were the reactions? How many people could you see?
You know, I think it's actually the biggest fan fest I've ever performed at.
Right.
So the biggest one prior to this was Toronto, which is my hometown.
Right.
But this must have had double the amount of people. I would guess 15,000 people maybe or something. It was insane.
What do you take back from a huge event like this? These guys have come just to see you from different cities. What do you take back?
I mean, looking into the crowd, I was just talking to my team about this, that looking into the crowd, you see all these people who've been waiting there for hours, standing. It is so hot. They have signs. Some people give gifts. It's just, I think about when I was younger, the effort I would put into, when I had idols and I would do these things for them. It really is a hard thing to process, to think that someone uprooted their life and their day to be here to watch me perform. So it's very heartwarming to me to know that it's not just about the 10 minutes I'm on stage and the 10 minutes I see them. For them, it's they had it in their calendar and they stood outside all day. And so it really means a lot to me.
That's great. Do you get time to interact with fans individually also? Everybody wants a picture these days. Everybody wants a selfie. How much of that do you actually manage?
I try my best to interact with fans as much as I can. So especially when I commit to an event like FanFest. So going to FanFest, I know, of course, there's going to be fans, going to be meet and greet. And in that designated time, I'm more than happy to take all the pictures, do all of the things.
Right.
And then when I come back to my hotel, that's my time to shut off a little bit. But of course I interact with fans. I also know a lot of my fans in India by name.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I invite them backstage after, especially the people that have been supporting me for so long. I think it's important to have that engagement with them.
That's amazing, and that's the reason they continue to watch your videos. Since you're in Bombay, there's the speculation started that you'll be doing a Bollywood movie, you're meeting actors. First, tell me, we'll come to that because people on Twitter have asked me that. Who all did you meet? We saw a lot of pictures with Karan, Varun, Ranbir.
Yeah, I mean, so when I landed, first of all, let me ask. I say Mumbai, but you say Bombay. Am I a loser?
Mumbai is correct. What you're saying is right.
But then everyone here says Bombay.
I'm born, brought up here, so when I was born, it was Bombay, so I'm so used to it.
So I'm not a loser.
You are absolutely
right.
right.
Am I a loser right now? Okay, cool. Sweet. So yeah, when I landed in Mumbai, Varun actually hit me up right away, saying, "Oh, you're doing a fan fest thing," and he offered. He said, "Let's do a surprise for your fans on stage." And so we coordinated this little fun surprise with Varun Dhawan, and then Karan Johar was there. I said hello to him, and I was I've been very just touched by how much these influential people have come up to me and congratulated me about a lot of my success, because growing up in Canada, I've had such strong connections to my culture, but I was still not born in India, and I wasn't raised in India. So it does mean a lot to me when people who are born and bred in India consider me one of their own and say welcome home to me.
Absolutely, and they're so proud of you.
So that, honestly, I can't even express in words how much that means to me. So it's been really, really cool. And then last night, for the first
time, we saw you burning the bar.
I, for the first time, got to meet Ranbir Singh, which has been long overdue because we've been Twitter friends and text friends for so long. And so I found out he was leaving for a flight soon, so I went off stage into my car to this GQ party in my costume still, so sweaty and so tired. And it was so interesting because I went up to him, we exchanged 0 words, and we just danced for 5 minutes. That was the first time
we will show you that. Watch these visuals. These are from last night's party. So tell me, what was that like? You guys were you all bonded like best friends?
It was amazing. Every once in a while you meet someone when you're we're on the same page. But I literally went up to him, and it was just so funny because we didn't say hi. We didn't say nothing. He looked at me, I looked at him, we just danced for 5 minutes. That was our introduction.
5 minutes down and then on top of a bar.
And then he grabs my hand And he says to me, and the information is my first time meeting him,
Right.
so I've never been exposed to his energy. I don't know what he's like. Grabs my hand, he goes, let's go dance on the bar. And I'm like, oh, you're funny. I completely thought he was joking.
Yeah, we thought
Grabs my hand, takes me to the bar, clears the bar, and now I'm like, oh, this bar is so high. How am I going to get up on this bar? He jumps on the bar, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting on the bar like this. But it was so much fun.
Great. You know, of course, but clearly the energies match somewhere. So are you, and even he's so energetic. You know, tell me one thing, Lilly. What is it about you that you think connects so well with your audience?
It's always a tough question to answer because now I have to tell you all the amazing things about myself, and I like to be humble, so this is going to be a very difficult situation for me. No, honestly, what it is I am not 100% confident. It's always hard to judge yourself and say what it is people like about you, but I would like to believe it's that I'd like to keep it real. Right. You know, I've always been someone that talks about the imperfections I have or talks about the struggles I have, whether it's with mental health or whether it's with fighting with my parents or whether it's like all the struggles that we kind of go through, especially being a Desi living in Canada, you know, growing up in between two cultures. So I think people just really are drawn to someone that doesn't feel the need to look perfect and seem perfect and is how it is.
I think that's the connection, clearly. You know, and consistency is one thing. You've been making these videos for a long time. We know people who have been making videos for 1 year and they are suddenly popular.
Right.
Your videos go back a long way. You put in a lot of work, a lot of time and effort, and it shows. How do you maintain the consistency that a video should come? How often and how's this planned?
Well, for 8 years of my life, I did 2 scripted comedy videos a week.
Wow.
Which is a lot. I have like over 1,000, 2,000 videos. I did that for 8 years. This year, I decided to stop doing that just because I reached a point in my life where I wasn't as excited about what I was doing. And I think it's really
This was after 8 years?
Yeah, this was after 8 years.
Okay.
So I reached a point where I thought, oh man, this is not exciting. Something that used to be my hobby has now turned into this very overwhelming career. Right. And so I had to take a step back and say, I think I'm in the position now where I want to make things that excite me, and sometimes that's not always possible on a rigid schedule.
Right.
So now I'm making things that I'm very passionate about. Yeah. I'm working on other projects as well off YouTube, and so I'm just growing as a person and as a creative. Doesn't mean I won't make YouTube videos. I still will, but I'm definitely gonna take more time on them.
Great. And could you explain to people how big is your team when you're making a video? How much time do you take to write, produce it?
So my team, I brag about them all the time, so most people know I love them so much. My team right now is my day-to-day manager, Kyle. Yes. I have my manager, Sarah. I have my publicist, obviously I have my assistant, my personal assistant. That's another change I did this year.
Okay.
Executive assistant and personal assistant.
Okay.
So that one person can make sure that I eat and remain sane.
Yes.
And then I have my editor, I have my camera operators, I have my vlog producers, I have my social media people, obviously my lawyers, agents. So I have quite a big team.
Wow. And if we take you back when you started, how big was the team?
Boom.
Just you yourself?
Yes. Which is important, I think.
Yeah, of course.
I think any boss needs to know what it's like to play every role.
Right.
So I can empathize with my editor if he says, hey, this is a really quick turnaround, and I don't know if I can do this. I can empathize and understand why that is the way it is, because I've been there. Right. You know, and same with everyone else on my team. So I think it's important.
Great. You know, everyone who's watching this also, all your fans, YouTube is something that is open to all, and they all want to be YouTubers. For someone who's starting out, if you want to tell them a few things that they should always keep in mind before entering this space.
I'd say, you know, YouTube has changed a lot today from what it was when I started. Right. You know, when I started, it was more a hobby. It was more a creative outlet. Today, YouTube is... When I started, kids never said, I want to be a YouTuber. Now they say, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a vlogger. And so I'd say that, you know, you have to see it for what it is. Right. It's an amazing platform. It's full of opportunity. But also too much of anything isn't good. You have to be smart and you have to understand that it is a platform that validates you based on numbers, and that can be unhealthy as well. So I would give any advice I would give to someone who's starting out is you need to have a really strong moral compass before you start getting into this world, because a lot of my friends have fallen into this trap of what can I do that's crazy to get views now? Yeah. And it's a slippery slope, and I want everyone to be aware of that. So it's a beautiful platform, but just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons and for the right thing that excites you.
Great. There you have it from Lilly Singh. But you know, now that times are different, you're saying, is it still possible for someone to just lift their phone and start making videos and
I think so. I think, of course, there's a lot more creators now, so it's more saturated. But there's also a lot more viewers.
Right.
I mean, India itself,
huge numbers.
Post Geo now is like a huge number. So I would say, and the thing I love so much I've learned is that now in certain regions, there's local YouTubers that have gained quite a following, which is so awesome.
Right.
Because previously that wouldn't have been possible. So I think absolutely.
Fantastic. It's a very simple question. What is fame like?
Okay, how long do you want this interview to be? Because we can go for another 2
all
hours.
the time.
Okay. What is fame like? Okay, so fame has been the number one thing that has taught me an important lesson, which is everything is a double-edged sword. So of course I recognize my privilege.
Yes.
Of course I recognize that with fame comes
Right.
money and spotlight and all those things. So I don't want to sit here and just complain that it's hard. Of course it's amazing. Get to party with Ranbir Singh. Designers give me clothes. It's great.
Right.
Having said that, it is naive as someone who is an audience member or viewer to look at famous people. And I see this online very often.
Right.
How can celebrities have problems? Stop complaining. You have all the money. No, everything is a double-edged sword and everybody has problems. So fame is giving me a lot of opportunity, but at the same time, the price is privacy.
Right.
The price is sanity. The price is also, people harshly judging you.
Sure,
You can't really do anything. All of your mistakes are public. All of your growing moments are public.
Right.
Whereas people who are not in the spotlight can make a mistake, grow, and it's fine.
Right.
If you make a mistake online, it's there forever.
It's there forever.
It's there forever, and people will judge you about it forever. And so, it's great, and it's tough.
It's tough.
And I ultimately am very grateful.
Great. And also it comes with a lot of responsibility.
Of course. Yeah, it comes with a lot of responsibility that there's no rule book for.
Right.
It's not like a job where you would work with a company and they'd give you a handbook and they'd say, these are the responsibilities of your job.
Right.
It's responsibilities that are coming from every direction, from people you also don't know, and then also responsibilities you make up in your mind.
Right.
So it's just not clear cut.
Right.
It's a very abstract position to be in where, depending on a certain day and how you feel, you might be like, it's my responsibility to be so encouraging and inspiring. And then one day you'll feel bad about yourself and you'll think, why is this my responsibility? I'm just a human. I can't do this. So it's just really tough.
That's true. That's so human. Absolutely. And big congratulations for your show.
Oh,
we
man,
watched Jimmy Fallon's announcing, and that was such a cool moment for, I'm sure, everyone in the world, but people back in India they felt so proud. They really feel a connection.
See, I'm so happy to hear that, because part of me was like, are people in India going to care about this? I swear for a second I was like, will they care about this? But thank you. I'm very, very excited about it.
Tell me, what can you tell us at this point?
So I can
apart
tell you
from the name of the show.
Yes, I can tell you that there's a lot of work to still be done. With the way this has gone,
right.
It's been so last minute with the announcement, even before I went on the Tonight Show with Fallon, just hours before I got the name of the show cleared legally. Yes. And then that appearance was confirmed that week. So everything's been so up to the minute.
Right.
And so now the work starts.
Right.
We start shooting in August. It will premiere in September.
Right.
And we're going to do our best to make sure it's inclusive and different and funny.
Great. Fantastic. And when can we expect you back here?
So that shooting schedule is going to tie me up a little bit.
I'm
but
sure.
It's my personal goal to come back one more time this year, at least.
We have a lot of questions from Twitter, so we'll take those
Let's
right
do it,
away.
of course.
Yeah. Obvious question from Anaga. Any plans to step into Bollywood?
Okay, I'm going to put it out there in the world. Hear me, world. I would love to be in a Bollywood movie. Someone put me in a Bollywood movie. I can't speak very good Hindi. I can learn, and I can't run in a sari. As long as these two things are okay, I'm happy to be in a Bollywood movie.
I'm sure they're okay.
And not only that, I really do feel I could hold a candle dancing next to some of the great dancers. I think I could dance with Ranbir. I think I could dance with Hrithik. I think I could dance with Tiger.
Right.
Definitely cannot dance next to Madhuri. I'm not that good, but I can dance. But I can do like those other moves.
It's out there. You just wait and watch how many offers you get. Ranbir Singh Brar said, your show will start, and will that be filmed in New York, and will you shift to New York from LA?
So a lot of people ask me this question because most late night shows do shoot in New York.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. There's no way I'm moving to New York.
Yeah.
I'm shooting in LA.
Right. Anushri has asked, which is your favorite Bollywood movie of all time?
My favorite Bollywood movie of all time is Mohabbatein.
Okay.
To the point where when I was younger, I was convinced that if I ever got married, you know, as a young girl, I was like, oh, my only goal in life is to get married. And then I grew up. But if I get married, my entrance song was going to be Humko Humi Se Chura Lo.
Oh, nice.
Love that song, know every word.
Great, fantastic. Cindy Pat is asking, what is your favorite YouTube video that you have made? And if there's any one that you think is least favorite?
One of my favorite videos I've ever made is Drop Splash Banana. It was a recent rap song I made, but I will also say the recent video I made recreating Bollywood songs into rap songs.
Right, yes, it was fantastic.
Thank you. It's instantly become a favorite, mostly because, quick story, that was shot in LA. The All Is Well segment was shot in LA. And then my whole team came to India, and the footage got corrupted. We had to reshoot All Is Well in one day in India. So we had to find a school.
That part is done here?
Yes. So we had to find a school, find dancers, find extras, and figure it all out in one day. And so that holds a special place in my heart. Least favorite video? I usually don't put out something if I don't like it, so it's hard to say.
Right.
Maybe some of my earlier videos that the production is just so bad. I think I have one, it's called Guide to Brown Girls, and it's like, looks like it's shot on like an iPhone 1. Like, it's so bad quality, I can't even watch it. So probably that.
I'm sure people enjoyed it at that time.
Hopefully,
yeah. How do I convince my parents to become a YouTuber, and how do I explain to them that this is a profession?
I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone that asks me this question, which is there is no way you will be able to convince your parents without doing the work.
Right.
When I first told my parents, they didn't understand. And this was 2010 also, not even what it is today. So there was not many examples I could show them. I couldn't prove it to them in any way.
Right.
I just had to work really hard and show them.
Right.
Eventually, I brought them to my shows. I would show them my paycheck. Like, look, I won't be homeless. Look at this paycheck. And convince them. You know, I think kids these days need to understand that parents, although they may seem like they're against you and they say no, they're just concerned and they want to make sure that you're going to be okay.
Right.
So work hard and prove to them you're going to be okay, and watch them, they will come around.
That's great advice. Now we have some video questions. We'll show you what people have sent us.
Hey Lily, what's up? It's your girl Alicia, and I wanted to ask you what your plans were for Unicorn Island Productions. And since I'm a media student, I wanted to know if you would be open to hiring more people in the future. Love you. Thank you so much. Bye.
I love that she sees an opportunity and she dives in. She's like, this is actually my resume. I don't even care about asking you a question. Yes, Unicorn Island Productions is the production company I started last year.
Right.
Working on a lot of really exciting things. I just actually had a few meetings about it right now. So we have a slate of horror, comedy, unscripted, drama. Here's the thing though. Productions traditionally take so much longer than digital world.
Of course.
I'm from the world of recording a video, that week it goes out. Back in the day it used to be that day it would go out. This is like, it's gonna take a year to get a budget for this, and then it's gonna take 2 years to make it, and then by the time you have kids, maybe it'll be out. Like, it's very slow. So we're working on a lot of exciting things, and I think there should be some announcements very soon.
Her last part was your hiring?
Yes. In terms of hiring, right now we're balling on a budget, so we have a very little staff, okay? But I am very keen on having an inclusive staff. So I'm very interested in finding writers and directors and talent in India is very important to me. So when that time comes, for sure.
Hi, I'm Deepa from Delhi, and I want to ask Lilly Singh, what would you say to your 13 or 14-year-old self, and what's your best advice to teenagers nowadays?
Oh, that's a good question. What would I say to my 13, 14-year-old self, and what's the best advice for teenagers? I think it took me a little bit longer than I would have liked to be comfortable in my skin.
Right.
And that might be a shock to people because I think for most of my life I have been very confident. This version of me you see is not a facade for cameras. Even off camera I am very like this. You saw me at the party last night,
Super energetic.
But I think it took me a long time to just really believe that, like, when I walk into a room, I'm worthy to be in that room. And my opinion is worthy. And I think especially being a South Asian female, sometimes we're not taught that from a young age. We're very much so taught that you should be really happy to be in that room.
Right.
You should be grateful to be in that position, and you shouldn't talk too much. And so it took me a little longer than I would have liked to really voice my opinion, even when it's uncomfortable.
Sure.
So the advice I would give to teenagers, especially girls, is, and this doesn't have to be in a mean way. You don't have to be rude about it.
Of course.
But I'd say stand up and ask questions. And when you disagree with something, say it. And it took me a long time, even in terms of a lot of traditions I was raised with, to stop and say, well, why is it like that?
Yeah.
Why is it that the girl has to do this and this and this? I never thought to even ask the questions. So I would say ask questions, disrupt things, and if something isn't right, don't be afraid to say something.
True. And now when you walk into a room, you pretty much own the room.
Oh, stop. You said it, not me. Stop.
Hi Lily, this is Gunjan from Symbiosis Pune. We're so happy and so proud of you. Congratulations on your new show. Could you give us a little hint about what we can expect from the show?
Sure, yeah. From the show, obviously I love sketch comedy.
Yes.
So I'm going to try my hardest to put as much sketch comedy in as I can.
Right.
I haven't figured out the set yet.
Okay.
When I go back to LA, I'm meeting with some set designers. But I want it to just be a different feel, you know? There's a later slot. It's one of the it's the only woman on the floor broadcasting. So I want it to have a different feel, a different energy, but I still want to pay tribute to all the people that have come before. So it's going to be a mix of old and new. And that's about all I can say, because otherwise, honestly, I don't know.
Great. We'll take one more question.
Sure.
Who do you want? Yeah.
Ooh, let's get a guy in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate you on the Late Show and the Bollywood video which was released recently, which is so good. Since I'm restricted on the time and I have a million questions to ask, I'll just compile it in a bit and put it in front of you. What's the one thing that keeps you motivated, that keeps you going on a daily basis? Thank you.
You are adorable. You are adorable.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? When I first met Will Smith, I asked him this question.
Right.
Because Will Smith is someone, is he popular in India?
Very popular.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He'd come here, in fact, last year he was
You're right.
For Bright.
Right. So, looking at his career, I was always like, wow, he's been doing this for so long.
Right.
And he's very similar to Ranbir, actually. They have same energy,
Right.
same love with life, same, very like to talk to people, so grateful. And I was wondering, like, how are you not tired? Right. You've done this for so long. So I went up to him and I said, what has kept you motivated? And his answer was, whatever that answer is, I make sure it keeps changing.
Wow.
And I think that's really smart.
Right.
So when I first started, what I was motivated by was, how can I have a presence on YouTube? How can I have a voice on YouTube? How can I make a career off of YouTube?
Right.
Now, just recently, within the past couple months, I would say that answer has changed. I think with the announcement of the NBC show,
Right.
and just with the other things I have going on in my life, I've really taken a step back and realized that a lot of the things I'm doing are bigger than me.
Right.
They're bigger than me, they're bigger than you, they're bigger than any individual. I really want to create a legacy. That is my motivation right now. I want to help build a path that will pave a way for other people.
Right.
And that's why it makes me so happy. Not that I'm solely taking credit. There's so many other amazing creators that have helped with this, but years ago when I came to YouTube Fan Fest, there were not that many creators. There was very few creators, and now when I come, there's so many creators that are massive, so talented, have large audiences, and that makes me so happy, because as a creator, being one of the first on YouTube, of color, why wouldn't I want that? It's very easy to think that I just want to be number one. I want it to be about me, but no, the bigger and better thing to do is be like, no, I was part of this movement that helped all these other people. So what motivates me right now is breaking a lot of glass ceilings and paving a lot of paths, so that when I'm dead and gone, at least there's other people in this position that could be like, we're here and we're going to rock this now. That's
Great. So on that positive note, let's wrap this. Thank you so much.
Of
It's
course.
been such a pleasure.
Thank you to you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.